Joining us to discuss the impact of the Brexit vote on American politics is Washington Post columnist Catherine Rampell. Catherine, good morning.
Good morning.
When you look at what voters in Britain were saying, the voters who voted to leave, a lot of the same issues on the table here in the U.S. I mean, what can we take from this, if anything?
I think there's a lot of similarity between the voter bases of those who voted leave in the UK and the people who are pro-Trump here. I don't want to oversimplify things too much,
right,
but to a large extent, they're white working-class voters who feel like they've been left behind by globalization, who are very anti-elite. They're very suspicious of those who have been in power, the establishment and experts, because they think that they have not prescribed the right solutions to the economic troubles of their country.
Now, you said that you felt that the vote in Britain was really a protest vote versus a vote over policy. Do you think that's something that we're seeing here, too? Certainly, Donald Trump has identified some parallels, and Hillary Clinton has criticized him for being without substance. What do you think?
I think that's absolutely true. I think a large part of the attraction to Donald Trump is that he is sort of a down with the establishment, down with the experts, down with political correctness. He's kind of a middle finger, if you will, to those who have been in power for a long time. And it's hard to, while he does have some policy positions that are somewhat fixed, many of them change from day to day, which is why I think that the attraction to him is less driven by the actual policies that he proposes rather than his personality and his swagger.
We are just weeks away from the Republican convention, and a lot of the establishment is not showing up for that convention. What do you think? What do you think the impact on Trump's campaign from that is going to be?
You know, it could go different ways. On the one hand, his campaign has been struggling. They don't have much in terms of infrastructure or staff or money.
Yes.
And they really need to rely on the GOP's established apparatus in terms of fundraising and organizing and getting out the vote. If he doesn't have those establishment people behind him and their vast networks of donors and volunteers and foot soldiers, that is very damaging to him. On the other hand, he can always spin this as saying, well, clearly that indicates that I'm different, I'm going to shake things up, and I'm a departure from what everybody already hates. So as a practical matter, it's damaging to him. As an image matter, maybe it's enhancing.
Right. So the American population, they have now another option, a libertarian option. Gary Johnson, the former governor of New Mexico. Who does he take votes away from, do you think?
The conventional wisdom had been that he was taking votes away from Donald Trump, because there were a lot of disaffected conservatives who felt like Donald Trump did not represent their brand of conservatism. The more recent poll data, I believe, has shown that actually he would take voters away from both candidates, because there are a lot of independents who feel very strongly that they dislike Hillary Clinton. They hate Trump, but they're also not so fond of Hillary Clinton. They're looking for a third option. So it's a bit of a toss-up at this point.
All right, Catherine Rampell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, tomorrow morning on Face the Nation, John Dickerson's guests will include former Republican presidential candidate Senator Marco Rubio.